Women are afraid to stand up. Who has a good courage? So when we are saying tunamtetea, you know that it is deep-rooted. Let's give you a story. Let me give you a story. You have never heard of our director of Kabanda, who is the chief director of Arab Democratic Forces, ADF. He used to speak on radio in the BBC when we would attack ADF or kill some people. Now at a certain time, by the way he died of prison, Kabanda, I think you will hear him. Kabanda of ADF. There's a rebel, the terrorist. When he was going to die before he died, he made a call to him. One who was calling Sultan of Honor Jamil Mukuru. What we are Mugamba. You say, a chama chinzisi. A chama chinzisi. But you know what we say. And this is what he answered. And I quote. We say, we could have answered, a chama chisana. You can say chama chisigari. Can you see that level of patriotism? Meaning, he said, we say, our organization, our party has killed me, has murdered me. And Jamil Mukuru asked ADF, commander, person that had been imprisoned, who has killed you? Tell me, everyone is hiding you.
And he said, if I tell you, our organization is going to collapse for this interview, let me die, but ADF survives. And what is it surviving to do? To continue murdering innocent people? To continue abducting women and children? To continue doing what you know they have been doing? But because he sees that is the ideology, he says he would rather die and it continues carrying out. But what we are doing here, what are we trying for? So, nikisema kutetea, it is much deep rooted in your blood. So when we are talking kumtetea, tutamtetea. 1, 2, 3, makofi. We are going to sing the national anthem. We are going to sing the national anthem.
Yes, sir.
One stanza.
Yes, sir.
Beginning with the... Can we sing Kiswahili anthem?
Yes.
Okay, let's sing it in English.
Yes, sir.
First, the Ghana anthem, one stanza, followed by East African anthem. Okay. Stand still. Oh, Uganda.
Together.
Before you, we have got members who are the chairpersons of National Resistance Movement. We also have deputy resident district and city commissioners. All of the members are ready for your address. Permission to allow them to sit as we proceed for the subsequent program.
Take your seats, take your seats. The team from the headquarters, from the Manifesto Implementation Unit, the team from the headquarters, which supervises the RDCs, that is the head of the RDCs desk and anti-corruption, Benjamin, and your dear deputy sister Grace, and the commissioners that have joined you on this journey. The team that supports the director at NARI, you, our respected invited participants, the district NRM chairpersons from the whole country, and our field commanders who assist us in the oversight responsibility of the Office of the President, the Deputy Resident Commissioners, and Deputy City Commissioners. You are all most welcome.
Karibisha wageni!
Today we are very, very privileged to receive our Secretary, Office of the President, who we want to thank very, very much for sparing time to come and join us. The official opening ceremony will be presided over by the Honorable Minister, but as the program stands, the Honorable Minister is held up. He will be joining us shortly, and whenever he's here, we will perform that ceremony. But it was prudent that since the Secretary is here, and who is our Chief Technical Advisor, the Office of the President, joins us, gives his remarks, shares his wisdom, and we allow him to proceed with the other duties as demanded by the office. Had before you here, like my colleague here announced, the team of the group we invited. And we were very intentional. Some of you were here last night when I was taking you through the welcome brief. I said, how many of you have looked at your invitation letter? How many of you have looked at your invitation letter? Put up your hands to show whether the invitation letter has reached or not. Then those who have not seen it, how did you come? So, but all the same, you are still welcome. Somehow you got the message that you wanted here, and you are here. The reason I'm raising this is that it is important you know the purpose why you are invited here, so that you don't come here with your own purpose. Are we together? We were very intentional on why we invited you, and the purpose was communicated. And even when we were developing this concept of which people we should invite to share, to have this retreat for and engage, we had a reason. And I believe that my senior, the Secretary Office of the President, will expound on this. So, and I pledged and requested that let's keep focused so that we are able to benefit and be productive with the time that we have here. It is 1 week, the program is packed, and we wish we could have more time here so that we have a deeper and longer discussion and engagement. But you know, sometimes time is not there. You are also needed where you are to go and continue serving the people. So, Secretary and Director, the numbers we have invited, they are all here, and we are very happy that they
but still we thank you for making it here. We have settled in. I want to report that we came in yesterday. We settled in. We want to thank you, Director Nari, for the hospitality we have enjoyed so far. And we seem to be getting along very well. Housekeeping issues. The key challenge was on how our members of the Islamic faith are taken care of. And I think now everything is moving on smoothly. Is it so? Yes, sir. You don't know how to answer. Is it so? Yes, sir. I have seen also Christians answering on your behalf, so which means everything is okay. So, we will have 1 week. Your secretary, as you authorized, we are here. Allow me again, on behalf of the unit, for approving this work plan of ours to have these leaders in the country be brought here and engage in an area which we directly supervise, the area of manifesto implementation monitoring. We believe on the part of the party leaders that you are the owners of the party. And for us who are in government, we are agents. This manifesto comes from you. And it is important that as we go back into another election cycle, you appreciate how far we have gone. Whether it's a small journey, whether it's a big journey, but you need to appreciate it because you are still our frontline officers in that direction. Because we still want to be here. We still want to be entrusted with the leadership of this country. And as a party, you have a big role to play. For my other colleagues, we are in charge of monitoring. Those areas which are where it is work in progress, we need to have them monitored, supervised, and make sure they are concluded so that our percentage of performance is higher. And that can also add to the story these chairmen will tell our citizens when they are mobilizing the people. So we were very intentional. It's not by mistake. And nobody instructed us. That's why I was saying, please keep focused as per the program we served you. We beg that you don't bring your purpose here as opposed to the purpose why we brought you here. It will be in conflict and we may not understand each other, which may not be good. Allow me with those remarks to now invite the Director Nari to come and welcome us officially, and then invite the Secretary Office of the President to give his remarks as we wind up this small session. Thank you. Asante sana.
Distinguished audience, ladies and gentlemen, comrades. I'm Colonel Okey Rukogota, Director, National Leadership Institute, KYANKWANZI, where we are. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this great institution.
Asante sana.
Ndiyo, that's Kibao. If you got to give a round of applause, it must be real. Ndiyo. Shukran, you are great people. You are the commanders down the range, seeing to the implementation of our great manifesto. And you are not here by accident. Nari, why are you here at Nari? Not elsewhere. It's because Nari is a continuation of a conversation that started in the 1960s. In the 1960s, African countries had just gotten independence. Immediately, patriots and Pan-Africans started sensing that there was a leadership question. There was a leadership problem. And underpinning that leadership challenge was ideological bankruptcy of some of the leaders that we had on the continent. And that's why some of them were busy being pro-West and pro-East, and a few were pro their countries, few were pro the African people. It is that conversation that was manifested among the students like those at Intare, led by General Yoweri Museveni now. You know the Sapoba group. Prominent patriots went to Eastern countries which were progressive then to study how to defeat foreign domination and good governance, transformational governance. We had the mighty Chirumba Chivedinda, the mighty Jaberi Dadisari, the mighty Chintu Musoke, and what came to be the Swapoba group. Then there were other actors within our country, workers and peasants. We had the Bawejere groups, we had the workers groups, and these gave rise to great revolutionaries like Ahmed Seguya, who was to become the first commander of the National Resistance Army after training and serving illustriously, patriotically in Fronasa. The bad leadership which they were questioning resulted in what came to be known as the false start. I mean, they were questioning the start after we got independence, which resulted in the lost decades of the African countries. And they wanted solutions. Fast forward, the conversation yielded to the formation of groups like the University Revolutionary Forces or Front in Dar es Salaam, Fronasa, the UNRF government, PRA, and National Resistance Army and Movement, and later now the National Resistance Movement and the UPDF, which is a People's Armed Forces. It is the same conversation that is behind the manifesto you are going to discuss. And it is the same conversation that NARI stands or epitomizes or promotes or advances. So, whereas all of you are engaged in this conversation, wherever you are as you command, the achievement of the manifesto, NARI is the institutional organized framework for that conversation. So you are welcome to NARI. It is your institution. When you are here, do all you are told as you have been told, because you know the whys and wherefores for doing so. So, we are delighted, we are blessed, you are a blessing to us, because you are the people downrange. Of course, there are a few black sheep. We've been moving downrange, and some of you are not up to scratch. But those are a few. The majority of you are doing us great. Ndio. And while we are here, we want to cleanse ourselves. We want to rectify that we are not doing right, so that all of us can say, like the Catholics are here, they say, mea culpa, and we rise up to fight to achieve our historical mission, which is to see Uganda prospers in the framework of Africa's prosperity, and that begs Africa's strategic security, and the two can't be got without the freedom and unity of the African people. And to achieve that, we have the four ideological principles of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. These help us to achieve the vehicle to achieving the strategic Africa's historical mission. And this vehicle is Uganda Mission 2040. Do I get here? So, we must see Uganda, the Uganda Vision 2040, as a direct product of the conversation that started in the 1960s and for which NARI formally represents, institutionally represents. So when you are here, you are continuing that discussion, conversation to achieve Vision 2040, which is the vehicle for achieving our historical mission, which we must betray or pursue and achieve. If we betray it, future generations will throw stones at our graves as people who didn't live up to our calling of today. So, it is death or life, and that's why you are putting on those uniforms, because it is a struggle. Vision 2040 is being pursued in a series of national development programs. Each national development program has got 5 years. But all of this has got a great People's Mass Party, the National Resistance Movement, which we the people have voted into power, and we in the UPDF must support as the government democratically elected per our constitutional mandate. With that background, which sets the climate for further conversation, which will be characterized, and we beg and guide that it is characterized by self-criticism, open criticism, and the spirit to rectify that which we are not doing right, coupled with the spirit to emulate those who are doing greater than we are doing. We say all of that for God and our country. And with those remarks, I'm under pressure and pleasure to welcome our eminent, distinguished leader, Haji Kakande Yunus, sir. Stand up. Karibu sana. Ndio, ndio.
The director manifesto office of the
director Nali Kanoke Ogata, Major
Massa, who is head of RDCs in office of the president, Sister Grace Akirol, who is our deputy head of the RDC desk in office of the president, the chairpersons of NRM in the districts, the district resident commissioners, the district resident commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to this important institution. This institution is very important in our institutional framework of the government and the NRM in particular, because this is the institution which must give guidance and direction to our citizens how issues of management, especially political, should be handled. And it was imperative that the chairpersons of NRM, district chairpersons of NRM and deputy RDCs and RCCs, you come to this institution and you get a dose of the NRM manifesto.
Asante sana.
Purely as the director manifesto implementation and the director NRI has stated earlier that you are here for the manifesto implementation. And how is it being done in your areas of jurisdiction? That's the most important thing. Other issues will be for another retreat. But for this one, we are looking at only the manifesto. And we think that you leaders in the districts, you are doing a good job, and you have done a good job. I want to thank you for that. Especially the district NRM chairpersons, because you are the one who are keeping the torch of our party in the districts. That is very, very, very important, and we empower you to keep this fire burning. To keep this fire burning and even continue with it, because we can't afford to have an alternative leadership in our country. It's you who are the grassroots, and you must make sure that you leave no stone unturned to make sure that you inculcate the values of NRM to our people. It's not by mistake that NRM now is going to make 40 years since 1986. It's not by mistake. It is because of the correct line of NRM. That's why this government, this system is still existing, and it's you who must keep it going on. Let us not look at the 40 years we are finishing, but also let us look at the future. What is the future of NRA? Even if President Museveni is not around, that's what we must now plan and see that we must continue with the NRA even after President Museveni is not around. And that's why some of us already saw the alternative of PLU. Yes. We saw it and we said no. We must have because we need to continue with that struggle. And you don't need, we have done a lot for this country. President Museveni has done a lot for this country. We don't need to see that when he's going, like you wash a cloth and put it at a hanger and then later you throw it down. We need to continue with what he started. That's the most important thing. Yes, sir. And you must also look at that plan that, as someone said, is standby generator. Yes, sir. This is my first message to you, that don't look at today, but look also at tomorrow. Yes, sir. You know, some of us, like especially me and others, in 1980, I was a young man. I was about 20 years, 19 I think. I was in the university. There were three parties, General Rufo. There was Uganda People's Congress, there was Democratic Party, there was Conservative Party, and there was Uganda Patriotic Movement. The other two were the giant, Uganda People's Congress and Democratic Party. But some of us decided to join the Uganda Patriotic Movement because we saw that the values of this country lies in that Uganda Patriotic Movement. And at that time, we were not even looking at direction at that time in 1980. For us, we were saying that, okay, let's start But if elections are not rigged, our target was going to be 1985. Unfortunately, there was a rigging of the election, and the rest is history. All of you know it, I don't need to repeat it. So, that's why I'm telling you that, okay, let us also look at the posterity when President Museveni is not there, who is taking over. Our system must continue. That's what I want to assure you, that our system must continue. And you are here after this manifesto, you are going to look at it. I'm sure the director here will give you another dose for how we can consolidate on this system. After making those remarks, let me go to this one which are written for me. I want to welcome you to this retreat for the district local government leaders. The Office of the President, through the Manifesto Implementation Unit, is mandated to monitor commitments of the NRM Manifesto 2021-2026 and the 23 Presidential Strategic Guidelines and Directive in all ministry, departments, and agencies and local government to ensure that they are well implemented. You know, these 23 strategic objectives were started in 2016. And in 2021, again, they were recorded. And right now, today or within this week, you are going to see how far we have gone with them. How far we have gone with them, because they're also part of the manifesto. And as you know, in the manifesto of 2021-2026, there were 809 pages which were made, which were supposed to be implemented within these 5 years. The director here has already done good work. He has shown what so far has done. The little I know which he will give you was that so far 359 are moving on well. 255, I think, are in the pipeline. 116 are not yet done. So we can say that almost 60-70% is moving on. And we hope by the year ending, by the time we go to the elections, we shall be around 85 or 90. As a result, we are invited to this retreat to review of the status of Manifesto 2021-2026 implementation. We have as well invited different key service delivery MDAs to take you through the progress of the key areas in the manifesto. A number of technical people will be here to take you through how far all different MDAs are moving or have implemented as far as these priorities are concerned. Manifesto is a social contract between the party in power, in this case NRM, and the citizens of Uganda. Since 2021 to date, the citizens entrusted in the leadership of this country to the NRM party by being convinced on the promises made to them. We have had similar engagement for both the political and technical leaders, that is RDCs, mayors, RC5 chairpersons, and cows. This one we have already had interface with them. This time, we have brought the deputy RDCs and deputy RCCs together, and even we invited district NRM chairpersons to KYANKWANZI to appraise you on the 2021-2026 manifesto performance. It is you, the owners of the party, that would explain this to the Ugandans. Trust us with the next mandate of 2026-2031. This is very crucial. You have to go back and inform the Wananchi how far this manifesto has been implemented. If there are secondary school per sub-county, is the secondary school in that sub-county where it was supposed to be? These are the issues which you are going back. They will inform you, oh, the secondary schools have been done. Government is now constructing stadiums, one in Hoima, another one in Rira. These are very, very big achievements. For almost since we became independence 50 years, we had only one important one called Nachivubo Stadium, and that Nachivubo was built, I think, around 1939, 1940, 30s, when they were remembering some of the veterans from Malawi were brought here when they were reorganizing them. That word where they came from, Malaya, it was called Nakivumbo. So that is the first one. And later on, Nambore, which again was done by this NRM government around 1995, I think. So now, we are having other stadiums, as I said, Hoima, Akibwa, and we are hoping to have 2 tournaments, I think. One is AFCON, and another one, I think, is CHAN. The main objective of this meeting, therefore, is threefold: to inform you and validate the manifesto commitments and achievements as leaders in the district of these regions. You have to validate with them and show them that that's where we are, and here we have not done good work. To note and share the challenges we face in the implementation of the manifesto commitments, as well as identity mitigation to the challenges. To promote the teamwork and strengthen synergies of our team, of our RDCs office, and the party leaders in the local government, where most of the government programs are implemented. Because most of the government programs are not in Kampala, they are in the sub-polity areas. To appreciate you as champions of dissemination of the Manifesto 2021. What I would like you to note that in the financial year 2025-2026 will be the first year for implementation of the 4th National Development Plan. This one which is coming. And the first for implementing the government strategy of growing the economy tenfold by 2040, as the director of here was saying. It is also the last year of the current NRM Manifesto 21-26. This year is the last year of the current manifesto which we are looking at. Therefore, this current financial takes into consideration the commitments in the NRM Manifesto and NDP objectives. Therefore, you have to take a look at the tenfold growth strategy, which was designed to shift Uganda's economic growth path to higher trajectory with real economic growth rate of 7% per annum before the commercial production activity of oil, and to double digit with oil production. Indeed, our strategy was to increase the size of the economy tenfold to US$ 500 billion. As you know, today, our economy is at 50 million US dollars, but within the next up to 2040, we want to make it 500 billion. The 4 key areas of our focus for this strategy has been agro-industrialization, tourism, has been agro-industrialization, tourism development, mineral-based industrial development, including oil and gas, science and technology innovation, including information and communication technology, ICT. The President of Uganda has been very steadfast on the issue of science and technology. That's why he established a whole ministry in the office of the President to cater for science and technology. And indeed, I'm sure during the course of this manifesto implementation, you will see a number of innovations, funding, which they have been given to different science programs to make sure that we succeed. Right now, the government is making a breakthrough. This tick, the problem of ticks, the pesticide, they are making sure that Makerere University and other institutions have been working hand in hand, and government has been spending money to make sure that we get our own drugs. Indeed, they are also enablers that will harness investment in the tenfold growth strategy to grow the economy. It is important that you delve into further assessment of one, maintaining peace and security. This is very important. Maintaining peace and security. Uganda has been at peace for the last almost 40 years, despite different pockets of insecurity which were in the north, but which were now almost eradicated. So, it's only with peace that development can be achieved, ladies and gentlemen. So, chairperson of movement, deputy RDCs, chairperson of the district, DPCs, DSOs, who are members of the district security committees, you must always work hand in hand to ensure that the peace we have been enjoying in this country is really consolidated. You have seen with your eyes. Those who traveled to Sudan, today, if you happen to pass through Khartoum, the whole town is down. If you go to places like Kurambiro, so many Sudanese have settled there from the other north, not south. So many Sudanese, they are refugees. They are looking where to stay, where there is security. Those ones are not in camps now. Leave alone those ones who are in camps. But those ones who are already integrated in our society. It is because Uganda is very peaceful. Those ones who travel to Kampala and go to this side of Munyonyo, right from Kansanga up to Munyonyo, they are Eritreans only. Why are they here? Why do they travel all the way from Asmara to come here? It is because of the security which is obtaining in this country. That's why we cannot allow anybody in this country who will try to divert us from the issue of making sure that Uganda becomes a very developed country by 2040. Thank you. Thank you. And as I was saying, that your assessment would also look at the rule of law, human capital development, especially focusing on affordable ways especially focus on affordable ways to provide health care. This is very important. Health care to our people. Health centers 3, 4, which have been established. All that information, Mr. Bashash has it. Health centers 4, where even they are supposed to do some having theaters and we operate the people. By increasing preventive measures against disease, education, water and social protection interventions, monetization of the economy through wealth creation initiatives, that one, those one you already are aware, through wealth creation initiatives, a number of wealth creation initiatives have been put in place that contribute to lowering the cost of money, like PDM, Nyoga, Uganda Development Bank, and Uganda Development Corporation, among others. Infrastructure development, railways, standard gauge railway, meter gauge railway, road maintenance, paved and unpaved, affordable electricity. This one you have seen, the government now has mobilized big amounts of money in order to make a buyout of Umeme from that company which was charging us big money. This was not easy. They have been here for 25 years and we have been paying high money. My friend here, Mr. Bakoja, knows, because for him, he has a small factory which turns timber into what? In Muwende. He has been knowing how much money he has been paying in terms of power. Mr. Bakoja is the deputy director in the manifesto implementation in. I didn't know that you are around. I'm happy to see you. Water and ICT. Regional integration to guarantee markets. Irrigation to stabilize agriculture. This is very important because wherever you are, now our agriculture, we need irrigation because of the change of our climate. The climate has changed. Everybody knows here. You have seen the heat we have been having in this country. I'm now 66 years of age, but this year, the heat which was coming, which we have been experiencing, I've never had it. This was my first time. So that means that there is a problem. The environment has been tampered with, not only in Uganda, but everywhere. We cannot say that it's Uganda alone, but everywhere. Therefore, you, the leaders, it's imperative that you start interventions which will remove people from wetlands and cutting trees. If you cut a tree, plant 3 or 1. And another one, eliminating corruption. These are going to talk about it, eliminating corruption. You know, corruption is one of the big problems we have. But the good thing, we should not lose hope. There are institutions there are institutions which are checking this. And what has NRM done is to make sure that the issue of corruption becomes public. Everybody talks about it. So when people talk about it, they think that there is a big problem. But I think, the issue is handled well. There is no one who commits a crime related to corruption who is spared. Ministers have been in court. Directors and commissioners have been in court. So, everybody. Now, this environment conservation and protection of wetlands and forests, and then that's the vertical and horizontal integration of our economy. Should commend the NRM government. Should we commend the NRM government and the visionary leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for undertaking targeted investments that have built a firm foundation and strengthened the resilience of our economy. This one, he has done it. Evidence is on the ground. These people will show you the evidence. Energy, transport and ICT infrastructure, human capital development including education, health, clean water. I think every district must be having water now. I don't have the figures from National Water and Sewage Corporation, but I know that 67% of our country, people have good drinking water. Social protection, manufacturing through construction of industrial parks. The number of industrial parks, those from the east, you see the Mbale area. Many years when I was working in Mbale, that was a den of thieves, Kamonkore, when I was working there in 87, 88. But when I pass through Kamonkore, I see a big park of industries. Yeah. Namamve the same. During our minister time, that was a dumping area for people who have been killed. It was a big forest with so many areas. It was a chunk up to Lake Victoria. But now it has been opened. Even the other side of the Lake Victoria, they are going to put there a port, which they call Bukasa Port. Eh? You go to Kapeka, the initiatives of General Salim Sare cannot be underestimated. You go to Kapeka, what is in Kapeka? I went there before and I found General Sare starting. Then I told him that, my friend, what are you going to manage this thing? He said, you wait, you will see. When I went back, I found there the office of Uganda Revenue Authority before you enter. I think where was Matsa. I said, the money we are collecting from there as taxes. Leave the many, there are about 32 factories, or 40 now, approaching 40. All these are efforts of His Excellency, the President. Provision of affordable credit and lowering the cost of electricity, as I say. Agricultural production and productivity through irrigation. And provision of high quality inputs. To large farmers and extension services. I think we have started seeing extension workers at the district. They have started, they have been recruited by the Ministry of Agriculture. They are helping our farmers how they can practice good agriculture. Completion of the East African crude oil. This one is going to be soon complete, that pipeline, which passes through Zimbabwe and will be going up to the border. Prioritization of tourism infrastructure. This is now one of the big earn of our foreign exchange, apart from coffee. Now that the economy is fully recovered to the pre-COVID growth momentum, because as you remember, before COVID, we were moving on very well, but after COVID, went down very fast. But now we have recovered from that. We have recovered from that. Our focus now should be in the medium term on the transforming of the remaining 38%, if they are not 33%, of households still enclaved in subsistence economic to the money economy. That is our aim, where it should be. Make sure that those people who are still producing for the stomach are also liberated from that. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this retreat, I implore you to ensure that the manifesto commitments implemented are well appreciated in your areas of jurisdiction. You'll be given time to discuss, internalize data to our citizens as we wind up our term and assess the progress of implementation of the manifesto. This is what we are going to do, and go back and be able to explain to our people what government has done and what we intend to do, because I want to assure you that you should work hard so that the coming election, which is coming 9 months from now, I think, we must take it. And as I said, we need another 5 years. Furthermore, documentation of key achievements by the government will be shared during this retreat. In conclusion, I wish to thank the Manifesto Implementation Unit for planning this retreat and enabling this mid-term review process as a platform for accountability and validation on the extent of performance of the Manifesto commitments and the Presidential Strategic Directive and Guideline in the region. I would also like to thank the representatives of the different MDAs who are participating as resource person in sharing the progress of the implementation by this by their respective entities. And also thank Colonel Togota for making sure that you have the best facilities where you are, and not only facilities, but to make sure that we give you best resource persons who will give you most details concerning Pan-Africanism and how we should now think of the future for this country. Finally, I would like to thank you for sparing the time to come and attend this important meeting, and wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Asante sana kwa Secretary Office of the President. Asante sana. You're welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Please another big applause in the Japan side. Asante sana.
Allow me, please take your seats. Allow me once again, thank you, Secretary. First and foremost, like I had observed, for your continued guidance and support in the way we deliver our outputs at the unit level, but also for your words of wisdom as an experienced citizen. We thank you so much for being here with us, and I believe many of you must have benefited or must have picked a word or two of wisdom. And I want you also to thank you also for trying to guide us on how we should keep focused while we are here. I think it was also important that you pick that. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
No. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Members of the media, you are most welcome. You have missed my speech of the secretary, but I think he will share with the team that is here. Please organize yourselves, come in, and then we move. Enter from anywhere, get organized, and we move. So, Haj, thank you so much. Now, I think in the interest of time, Haj will be going back, but for us, we are here to stay. According to the program, do you have the program now, all of you?
Yes, sir.
You know, when you start answering like as if we are in one day, the other side down there, I get worried. Do you all have the program?
Yes, sir.
That's better. If somebody enters here, now we will know we are at KYANKWANZI. So according to the program, I will say we are done with the first part of this session. We were supposed to be having a presentation from the Right Honorable Secretary General on the relevance of the manifesto and the multi-party dispensation. But the Secretary General will join us here on Wednesday morning. Today he has not been able to make it because it is cabinet and he's a member of cabinet. But he will be here with us on Wednesday morning. That is one of the changes that I wanted to bring your attention. The rest remains as planned until otherwise informed. For I also want to give one or two or three reactions to the Secretary's remarks. Is that in order?
Yes, sir.
So how are we going to manage it to be more democratic? So we shall have two people from here, those are already there. But you are all men, I also want ladies. So you are chairpersons. Chairperson? RDC. So who is the chairperson here? Okay, he's up, and this one here. This side? RDC? Chairperson? Mulindwa. I will consider, this is a very senior cadre. I'll give you a special consideration. So can you all move here? Come and stand here so that we are able to handle it very fast. Those who have been selected. How come there are no ladies? Ladies, is it because of Ramadan that you can't question Haji? How many are we? Are you part of the team that I chose? Yes. From behind there? Okay. This man from Mbari. Okay. Are you coming here, the ladies? Oh, okay. affirmative action. I have to be mindful because Haj has been emphasizing how NRM has made us, has transformed Uganda. So let's start with you, the ladies. Muzindaro is here. Be brief, your name, the district you represent, and the observation or the question you want to raise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm representing NRM Kamole district.
It's just below here.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you all who have done that for this.
How are we?
So I've told him to sit, you will consider him later.
Just a minute. Cause, are we attentive?
Yes, sir.
Please, let's give her a chance to explain her issue.
I want to the previous speaker for his presentation. It is true that we want to continue with NRM and we want to give it more time, even more than 12 years he has been talking about. But we want to be strategically enough so that we can have our structures functional, so that we can proceed with NRM forever, because we have seen the benefits of leadership of NRM, especially His Excellency Yoweri Museveni. I thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That's you go and sit. That is an observation, and we are taking note. There is no harm in it. Is there any problem? Is there any problem? Can we be orderly, please?
Thank you very much, Secretary of the President, Director, and participants. Professor Yacham Deputy RDC Amuru. Just one or two compliments on the Secretary's presentation. One can assure you that we are going to prepare for the President. And we only pray that support us in all possible ways. And defend the President, you also defend us. Because we are going to a political season, whether we are going to stay for people's soul, and they will run to your office, so and so, our humble appeal and then we will tell you as we take care of the President. Take care of us. Thank you so much, and thank you, whatever to do. Prove to the one out there that you are from CHAIRPERSON. So a certificate will not do us bad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your presentation. First of all, sir, I'm Ambassador Walimpwa on the streets in Bali. So I was touched with the history. Both the director and you, sir, and my senior here. And I just want to say that I have been around as chairman of NRM since 1996 today, and I'm coming back. Now, I was moved by the word the director used, conversation. Conversation. Secretary is the president. I want Bashar to permit me to say this. That when we were in Changwan, and by the way, this is my first time to be here. The first time I was in 1990 here. So I know this place, and I know the culture. But when some people are unsettled, your chairman of NRM have an issue with them. Kindly, we want to ask you that an opportunity is given for this chairman to meet His Excellency. Because I was told not to say anything, give us a permission through you, sir, as a senior person, as a senior Ugandan, that talking helps. These are the food soldiers. And that's why you see the results are changing here and there. And we should not take it for a ride. I have been around for some time. And the way things are moving, the population of 78% of young people against us who are seeing what the country is, and we take it for a ride, allow the president to meet. This is only 100 something people, men and women of the party. Kindly. That's my request to that one.
Ambassador. Yeah. Course? Course? Oh, you don't sound like you're in Chankwanzi. Course?
Allow me to observe for the protocol. And by the name of Cyrus Alando, Deputy RDC Toronto. My concern, and that has been a very big challenge, is when you had talked about rule of law and peace. If it's mishandled, it will bring insecurity. How do I want to bring it to your notes? That in Toroko, we don't have a resident state attorney. We borrow from Djibouti. Look at the situation where people have come for their cases to be heard, and the resident state attorney of the other district has not come in your district. So people are taken back to prison. That itself has made people take laws in their hands. It has also created a lot of distortion at the police level. Why? Because they will give out bonds, unnecessary bonds, claiming we don't have space for. So, at the end of the day, injustice is going to be in the district. We have tried our best to lobby for an RSA in the district. We haven't gotten one. We request my biggest, all my happiest time that I'm going to have out of this meeting is to solve my district with at least an RSA. The resident, rather than the state attorney, the magistrate and the chief magistrate can't even take a week without doing anything. They come, they sit, they go back because no one is doing what is processed. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I am humbled because of that. I am Madi Applied, the Deputy Resident Commissioner of the My concern is about the manifesto. The manifesto is our contract between government and the public. I am therefore proposing it should be a public document. It should be filled to be an advocate document. Because it was built in the thing here. When they were distributing these manifestos, everyone was like, give me a copy, give me a copy. I am therefore proposing there should be enough praise.
But how can people still be scrambling for the manifesto when the team is how many copies have we given?
In the district we come from have those copies. The other thing we are requesting to the manifesto implementation unit to always use the NRM day, since it is being celebrated at district level, to use that day to check the implementation and progress of the manifesto. If they can maybe allocate some funding to fund district leadership of NRM to have those liberation days in the because many districts are failing. Many districts are failing to follow the liberation days at district level. So if we can use that day to popularize our manifesto, we cannot proceed. Then the other minor concern is a lot of issues and a lot of obstacles is around the popularization of the manifesto to the public. I am suggesting if we can have a focal person to specifically to popularize the manifesto in the district, better that the district NRM office.
Course. Please, let's. Course. I still see people who are not paying attention to what is going on here. Course. When these members are here, it's important that we listen to them. Now, when this opportunity is denied, you say we have organized poorly. When the opportunity is availed, you disrupt it. Are we together? So can we be orderly so that we listen to the issues that they are bringing? And I'm happy that many of the issues they are bringing are really your mind. Not so?
Yes, sir.
Not so?
Yes, sir.
Am I smelling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't get the names of the gentleman who left here. Are you a chairman or the RDC? How old are you in that office?
Thank you so much, Permanent Secretary. Thank you so much, Permanent Secretary. Thank you so much, and thank you, the Director.
Please, let's listen.
My name is Michael Swama.
Yes.
Alistro. Manager Susoma, the Deputy RDC Alistro. Thank you for organizing us, both here and in the field. I have a humble suggestion from the presentation when you talked about managing the cycle of election. Now, Haji, all of us, both the NRM chairpersons and the deputy RDCs, we are ready with your guidance to successfully manage the victory outcome of President Museveni. And that we shall do because we are all fighters, everybody knows. The challenge sometimes in these elections, okay, much as some of us, it's now our first time to manage an election as appointed people, can be logistics. Because most of our districts are outstretched and yet we are the chief mobilizers of the NRM, both the NRM chairpersons and us the deputy RDCs. So I am humbly suggesting through you the PS, proposing to President Museveni through you the PS, that there shall be a special election fund.
This rain is growing and I'm not aware. And I'm not aware. I am here, then you people, you have self-appointed yourselves. I see the rain growing and I'm not aware.
I think it's one of the avenues that can propel the transformation. Then finally, the question has, what is the difference between the Apex platform and the strategic presidential identity? That was
Thank you very much. I observe the protocol in that order. Sir, I have two issues. One, I want to thank you. My name is Arion Boniface, NRM chairperson, Arua District.
Arua.
First, I want to thank you for having asked a critical question, which question has been in our minds, many of our minds. The question of what is the future of NRM after President Museveni? I want to thank you for asking that question. Why? Because
I know we have been talking about the standby generator and all that, but as far as President Yoweri Museveni is concerned, I want to assure this room what we get from the ground, most especially in Arua and West Nile, even if President Museveni stands for the next 10 times, he will still win. But the critical question of what is the future of NRM after President Museveni? Sir, this is a question I want to pray that you, our top leaders, are going to give us an opportunity in engaging, discussing it. And if we don't handle it well, one fact I want to put here is, on the ground, yes, we talk about value, but in the areas where I come from, there is a big rift between PLU and NRM. There is a big rift between PLU and NRM. I pray that opportunity is given for senior NRM cadres like the chairpersons and others to discuss this critical aspect. That is one. My second concern is purely about West Nile, because I foresee that it is likely to give us a challenge in the upcoming elections of 2026. If we can all recall, in the past election, recent election, we all knew West Nile did. And that is our hope too. But the fact is, we have got some challenges. In the previous elections, as NRM leaders and leaders of West Nile, we have had some few things to show. This time, we have got the electricity. We appreciate the president and the government for that. It is actually the biggest investment which has been done for West Nile. And West Nile now power does not go off. That is a fact. But the key challenge we have now is the issue of the road. In the park, the road has been partly done. But from, let me say backwards to around the Oreo, the contractor is not on site. And then from Navy to Arua, we used to take from Arua to Navy, we used to take 35 minutes. These days, whether you like it or not, you will have to drive for 2 hours. And very many trucks falling on the road.
Course. Let me guide procedurally. First of all, we have a time issue. Secondly, we have invited all key players of the different MDAs, including the sector you are touching. So I wouldn't want you to override the secretary. Yeah.
Now, lastly,
I thought that was the last one.
Lastly, is purely about the issue of the NRM chairpersons. I want to thank my colleague here who had already prayed to you about the issue affairs of NRM structures in the districts. Sir, I want to add on what he had already prayed for, that please give us time. The truth is we are the energizers. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Let me guide. Please, let's be as brief.
I'm Severimekere Napoleon, Chairman NRM Gomba District. And mine is a simple question. We get actually trained, we are given a lot of information from KYANKWANZI, and we are pregnant with a lot of knowledge, which we should actually be disseminating to the people down there, the one age. Now, the RDC's office,
the chairperson NRM's office and the rest of that team needs to have to synergize, as you put it, those synergies, and go to the people together. Now the challenge is one: how do we do this work, especially in this final year of the design of the 5 years of this manifesto? How do we, is there a special arrangement for the team of that district, for that team of the RDC, the chairperson, to go to the people to do this combing and popularize what we have done? We said we are going to have almost 85% of performance. But how do we go to reorganize it down there in the villages as a team? Is there any special facilitation to do this one from the manifesto presentation and from your office? How do we go? Is there an arrangement? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Amanya gange nze Serunja Godfrey. Chairman Buyikwe District. Ensonga zange ezimu bazikonyeeko naye nga tuli mu manifesto implementation. Ensonga ya PDM. Ensonga ya PDM ewange mu district yafuuse ekiyambako opposition okunoonyezaako obululu. Njagala kwebaza ku mulundi guno gwokka Haji gw'otukoze obulungi n'otuweereza ba deputy betukola nabo ate ne RCC. Sinnaweza myezi 3 nga ntegedde ebifa ku PDM okumalako emyaka giri gyonna. Nti ewaffe opposition yawambayo, naye ffe nga basentebe b'NRM tubadde tetulina we twogerera okuggyako ku luno ng'otuweereza Meja Matovu ne ba deputy be. Kati tusobodde okuba nga tulina kye tutegeera, naye kyentegeddeko mu myezi gino 3 abantu abafuna PDM miliyoni buli azifuna asirika busirisi kuba system emulagira kuzifuna ku ssimu ye. Kireetedde NRM okukendeera ennyo, n'olwekyo ffe twavuddeyo n'amagezi nti akaseera kano akasigaddeyo gurupu si bwe baba bazifoominze ku village, gurupu zifoomingibwe naye abantu okulondebwa okufuna ssente balondebwe mu public ensi ebategeere nti bafunye ssente. Naye ekintu ky'okuwa omuntu ssente ku ssimu ewaffe mu disitulikiti eyingiddeyo biliyoni empitirivu naye tewaliiwo amanyi kuba tewabadde ewabyogerera. N'olwekyo ku mulundi guno tusaba akaseera kano ke mutuwadde, munnange ono abadde wano atugambye nti nga bwe mutusomesezza mutuyambeko okulaba nga tukola n'abantu abo badipite bano betuzze nabo ne ba RDC, mutuyambe engeri gye tuyinza okutambula nabo kuba ffe tusigala ku ground nga twogera ate nze nsobola okusoma abantu abafunye PDM ku kyalo, ku buli kyalo. Ekyokubiri kiri ku masannyalaze. Bwe tuba nga tuli ku manifesto implementation nga amasannyalaze gava njeru mu disitulikiti y'Ebuyikwe, ng'era mu disitulikiti y'Ebuyikwe awatawera kilomita 3 nga tulinawo egombolola kumpi namba Afuwe nga terina masannyalaze, kiri mu kutukuba nnyo. Sebo tukusaba kwa implementinga manifesto otuyambe ku nsonga eyo. Nze Serunja Godfrey.
Ale. Close. Webale nnyo naye mbegayiridde nga bwe twogedde. Let me now
Honorable Mbu, Murimbwa Birmumazo, the first director for mobilization in the movement system. And I'm glad that I'm back here as a student and I can see all my bosses who are my students. What that means, that time I, with Honorable Chionga and Major Kakoza Msale, we are tasked to see how we can improve the all-inclusive government system. Here in Japan, I was supposed to present that paper, and somehow the chairman said, due to pressures, we are going to transition into multi-party system. I didn't agree with him at that time, and maybe I think we took a wrong choice, but the majority said yes. Now, as the chairman of the movement, you have stood here and talked about standby generator and alternative energy. I don't want to be left behind. As I was left that time, we opened your door and the director said, this is a conversation. And a conversation is a two-way dialogue. I would want, before I leave this place, to talk about it. Two, in 2016, sir, when we met the president, we requested two things. One, I'm not going to talk about it. We are warned in advance not talk about vehicles, and I'm not talking about it. But I personally made the request to the director.
Yes, sir.
That in 2016, you arranged an ideological orientation, and all of us meet here. And 2016, our term expired, COVID extended us, and we are expiring in June or July this year. Knowledge is never old. You have called us here. If knowledge was got yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, marriage is a great institution. Really, the way government and NRM has transformed the marriage. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back as a student, Apple. And I'm really very ready to also share my own experience. I wrote a paper, sir, and I pray that you allow me to present it when the Secretary General is here, because it touches more about politics and corruption. Even if it will not be a full presentation, you will allow me to share that because I've made several research on the topic of corruption. You may not need an authentic plenary. You may not need it if we discuss this matter. I beg to submit. Never old. You have called us here. If knowledge was got yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and NRM has transformed the NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come.
Mami very much. I want to pledge that when the Secretary General is here, please prepare your paper, bring it, and hand it over to him. I don't know whether we shall have time for you to present it, but at least let me allow the first easy process of handing over your paper to him. And then we can say what Mr. Birumaso has put in the paper, can you have time with the chairman and have that paper?
If not was got yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar.
What is more than 300?
I know,
but
you see,
But now the main challenge we are getting may not be the youth, but under the
these are very seasoned.
The people on Western, they feel like they are being treated differently, like in the Kampala. Because they have just maybe put the question the way it came in the ONC for the whole country of Kampala region. We are more realized more percentage than the last previous term. Thank you.
Okay.
For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is
No.
we have some moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and NRM was transformed in NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back. If not it was got yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the
national leadership. They have not been called here for I don't know how many years. It's already in town. I've come there twice. So they were politically represented. Other years they were either on oversight, don't know what happened. And we have achieved a lot. There are some challenges, but some of them I will ask those who are appearing in the program. The most one. There are the poor working relationship of NRM chairperson, between NRM chairperson and the implemental of the manifesto, plus other local government leaders. NRM chairperson is kept aside.
The trial never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally,
monitor. They say they know RDC, they know cow, they know the private chairperson. But with you, so that poor working relationship is very, very difficult. I don't know how you. And also, the central government contracts. You go to a city secondary school and try to ask, what about here? What about here? Who are you? When you say I'm an NRM chairperson, they say, NRM chairperson, why will you have to see, that's a very big challenge. So, I would ask other questions to concerns who are coming here. Thank you, the director, for considering us to be here for the first time. Yet I've been a chairperson with the NRI for 20 years.
NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and then NRI was
very much in terms of the manifesto implementation unit. Thank you for your cooperation. May Allah bless you so much. I have 2 points to raise. One, before my name is called Dr. John Michael, then I am the chairperson for Mora.
Mora district. Sir, one, the outstanding pledges has become a disturbing factor to us. And I'm telling you, Papa, extend to the president, ministers should actually be monitored and guided. Today, the ministers who have in Uganda, they are ministers of their constituencies, not for the ministers of the country. Nowhere you address issues, nowhere you present issues. When they touch the district, nobody will stop it. Please, sir, that should be addressed. Lastly, have a lot, but I don't want to disappoint my museum. Lastly, if you mind the chairman is NRM, if you could stand up, I'll be very happy. I want us to apologize. Even when we have not told our crime, our mistake we have done to the system, I want to apologize on behalf of the chairman of the NRM, Papa. Forgive us. Tell him to say forgive us. There are bad indicators going on in the system. But you see what happened in Kawante? People, deployment of people who are misplaced. When you bring soldiers in the campaign, when you bring police in the campaign, the so-called Arabs, you bring a person from maybe the born from where to here 1 week, will it deliver the victory here? Leaving the structure of the system, we are condemning that. Please, let us reorganize and have a smooth way of doing things in the party. Otherwise, we are dying innocently.
Thank you very much. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back. If not it was good yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, Nari is a great institution.
So much. Thank you, Haji Yunus, for giving us your time. I would also like to thank the Secretariat and for inviting us here. I'm by name Fardosa Ahmed. I'm the Deputy RDC for NAPAC. So mine is not going to be a question, but rather a recommendation. I think other questions relating to manifesto implementation will come when the respective ministries are here. So mine is about the president himself. You know, you asked a very good question, and you also hinted some very important points when you said that even after the president goes, we have to continue with his legacy, and the NRM has to continue. So it brings me to my point. When I was in Ghana one time, I was inspired by what the Ghanaian government is doing for their former president, that is their Kwame Nkrumah. And they have a very big park, park which is it's a park that memorializes his legacy. So mine here is to recommend that even before the president goes tomorrow, I think it's important for us to talk about his legacy. Can we have a memorial park under his name, with his name? Maybe probably Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Memorial Park. Because we don't have it in the country. We don't have a museum, you know, talking about the legacy of the president. If you go to Kenya, and I know many of us have moved around. So we need So if we are inspired by the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The reason why I'm standing here and I'm not disabled is because of his leadership, because of his legacy, and so many people in this room can testify to that, and the rest of Ugandans. But we don't have a place where we can take our children to learn from the leadership of the president. We don't have it. Should we wait for him to die and then think of appreciating him? No. We need to do it now before he goes tomorrow. So it's my kind request that we have that memorial center for the president to talk about his legacy, and this is not about politics. When we bring people to Nali to learn about leadership, it's attached to politics, it's political. We need something non-political. So if the president needs land, I come from Kabong district, we have land there. If we need to put a memorial there, if you don't have the land in the city, if you don't have the land in any other part of Uganda, we have land Karamoja. So,
better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and then NARI was transformed in NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back. If not it was good yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and then NARI was transformed in NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back. If not it was good yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and then NARI was transformed in NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back. If not it was good yesterday, it would have been better. For tomorrow, maybe it will never come. But today is our moment. Let us discuss about this before we close this seminar. And finally, NARI is a great institution. Really, the way government and then NARI was transformed in NARI. I came here as a teacher, retired as a director, and I've come back.
Thank you for coming, Madam. I want to start with the Madam who was the chairperson of NRM from Kamwenge. For her, she just made a comment. I want to thank her very much. Then I got the second one was the Deputy RDC Amor, Madam Wachan. For her, she was just saying that let's defend President Museveni, and we continue with her and thanking him for the good leadership. Then number 3 was Ambassador Walimbwa. I made Ambassador Walimbwa in 2010 when he was in China. China. That's why I made him. I was negotiating for the construction of the President's Office complex which was built by the Chinese. Your colleague? Okay. So, but you are all from, all of them you are from Bali. Yes, maybe that's why I'm confusing. Now for him, he was saying that chairperson of NRM should be given an opportunity to meet HE. I'm sure Ambassador Walimbwa, before going to pause, the president will meet you. That one, I'm sure. And you know it very well that he has already promised you to meet you. Therefore, it is obvious that before going to pause, he will meet you. And that's why the director was saying that some of the challenges you have, like my son, Captain Williams was saying, all those ones will be handled by those challenges, those pledges. Those ones, he will handle them. He will handle them. So, please, don't worry about that. I had Cyrus, my RDC is in Toroko. He brought a pertinent issue that they don't have a resident state attorney in the Toroko district. And another also person came and told him that not only in Toroko, I'm going to work with my colleague, the Solicitor General, to make sure that those districts which are new, they get state attorney. It's important because if people, by law, people are supposed to stay in cells for only 24 hours. But now, if you don't have a state attorney where the police will go and make reference whether the person should be charged or not, and you have to travel all the way to Bundubujo, that person will stay even 2 weeks in the cells. Because, first of all, transport may be a problem, and many other issues. So, this one, Vanasias, I'm going to make sure that I work with the Solicitor General to make sure that we get that problem solved, especially for Ntoroko. The Deputy RDC Biende, for him, he was just saying that he would like to have all our copies of the manifesto distributed to the district. I'm sure the director here is going to work with the Secretary General of NRM, and we make sure that these copies of NRM are distributed to the district. He was saying that allocate fund for NRM liberation days. Yes, we would like to have this money allocated. However, as you know, the national purse is constrained. So we had thought that the district, when they are budgeting, they will be budgeting for at least few funds for these national days. And I encourage the chairman movements and the deputy RDCs who are here and the RDCs who are not here to inform the chairpersons of 5 and the cows that whenever they are budgeting, they should budget some few monies for celebrating these days. Because for us at the national level, when we are preparing them, we say that the RDC will preside over these functions in the district. Therefore, we think that each district will have to celebrate them. But of course, what you are saying is true. I have heard some districts don't have even money. But this one, we have to take it on the political leadership and the technical group of the district. They should have try to see that they put there some little money for observing these days. And you talked of folk persons, that we should have manifesto folk persons in the district. Actually, the RDCs and the chairman movement, you are the folk persons of the NRM. You are the one. This is your job. So don't think that someone will be put there, another person to do that work. So that one, you should be the people to do. I expect the Honorable Gaga were here to be doing that.
Yes, sir.
So that one should not be a problem. Now, the lady from Arabatong, Madame Rukwama. You are who? Okay. She was talking of logistics. Logistics for you RDCs and chairman to see that you supervise where the election is. First of all, we have moved a kilometer ahead. We have provided at least every deputy RDC with a vehicle. Very few are remaining. Very few. And I'm sure by next year in October, this year in October, actually, not next year. This year in October, we are going to give the rest who don't have. So, in terms of logistics, You are not so bad off, but I know what you mean. You talked of a special fund. That is an informal fund. That is an informal fund which should not be talked about. My friend here knows, Martha, what we did in the other election. Every year this had some little money, but it was not from the consolidated fund. So normally we take into account your problems when you are handling elections. We try to get some money from the well-wishers so that you can do the work. I think this time, God willing, we shall be able to do it. See, the madam again says, tell us the difference between the Apex platform and the 23 presidential directives. Let me start with these 23 presidential directives. These 23 presidential directives started in 2016. That's when they started. Then when the president got another term for another 5 years, 2021, 26, he again recorded them. And our office of the president had the mandate to see that they continue monitoring how they are moving. And I'm sure in your deliberation this week, they will give you how far they have gone on each one. I don't know whether, Director, you have come with that information, how far they have gone with each one. That one, if they haven't come, they will bring it from Kampala, and then you go one by one and see how far you have. Very few are not yet done, but others, a majority of them, I don't have the figures here, they have been touched on. They have been touched on. Some have been even completed also. Take Uganda Airline. At least now, that one is operation. That is one of the 23 strategic objectives. Now, the Apex platform. The Apex platform also is in the office of the president. In the office of the president, it is comprises of Ministry, Office of the President, Ministry of Public Service, Office of the Prime Minister, and Ministry of Finance. That one must have one retreat every year to go through what ministries have been able to do. Those ones which have performed, and the individuals who have not performed, they are penalized. They're taken to rewards and sanctions and penalized. Those ones who perform well are supposed to be at least rewarded. So that is the Apex platform. It's, as the word is, it's supposed to look at the overall performance of the government, including the local government. So that is the difference. Now, my friend from Arua, what is the future of NRM after Museveni? I think this one, I categorically stated. Yes. And I said there is no problem with that. Because the president cannot be in power for this time and he doesn't have a plan for that. Yes. And I've already told you the plan. Yes. Now, the same brother of mine told me that NRM and PLU seems not to be working together. I vividly remember last year when Jerome was appointed the CDF, he said that I have handed PLU to NRM. You're supposed to work together. What is the problem? Is there a problem? He said that NRM chairperson structure should be energized. That's the reason why you are here. You are here to see how you can strengthen these structures. Mr. Mas, don't get disappointed. My brother from, I think was from Amur, who sat here and said that things are not very good. No, that's why you are called here. You are called here to see how do you energize these structures so that by the time we come to the elections, they are fully function and some of your challenges have been solved. My friend from Gomba, Mr. Seurime, I think Mr. Seurime was just making a comment, working together. He was saying that how do we work together? I think RDCs, deputy RDCs, you are always urged. I don't think that there is any workshop you have attended which doesn't say that RDCs, chairperson, deputy RDCs work together with the NRM chairperson. This is very important. And if there are any group who doesn't want to work together, I urge you, please work together. Because all of you, the objective is one. You don't have different objectives. So, Mr. Serunjoji from Buikwe, this one talks in Uganda. I don't know whether but maybe to make him understand his question, I also speak in the same language. He was talking of PDM, that PDM aba opposition bagitutte. Naye bwabadde amaliza agambye nti twamuwadde RDC gwe bayita Meja Matovu ne badepute RDC abagenda okumuyamba. Mwami Serunjoji, tuzanga bw'okyogedde abantu bano bwe twakuwadde oba otudde wa Serunjoji. Abantu bano bwe twakuwadde mukulu Serunjoji bajja kukuyamba okulaba nga abantu abafuna PDM sente bonna babeera mwenna muwanya mu district. Gundi yafunye, Musoke yafunye, Sabadu yafunye, n'ewundi yafunye. So ekyo kyekigibwa kati kyekigenda okukolebwa. Tokyeraliikirira. Ogambye nti amasanyalaze nga Mr. Bashasha bwagambye director nti gano gajja kwogerwako aba electricity, aba minister ya energy balaba bazze wano. Naye kyemanyi nti Njeru ne Buliko yonna gundi ze zimu. Ate era nga bwe mmanyi nti amasanyalaze mu Buiko town, Mwami Serunjoji, amasanyalaze mu Buiko town mwegali. Toyinza kuŋŋamba eyo mmanyiyo nange. Toyinza kuŋŋamba teri masanyalaze mu Buiko town. Buiko town njimanyi mpaka okutuuka ku si ku mwalo. Bwebanga waliya awatali masanyalaze, gombolola ezimu entonotono ng'ezo ezituuka ku myalo wansi eri ntono nnyo. So kale tetuyinza kukyekwasa nti amasanyalaze mu Buiko gali bubi. Naffe ababeera okumpi ne Kampala, nze waffe gye nva mayiro 3 okuva mu Kampala, naye amasanyalaze gatukayo nga nnyina emyaka 64. Nyeera olimu ebyalo ebitagalina. Kati tojja kulowooza nti amasanyalaze buli kyalo gajja kutuukako. But at least I know tawuni ez'amaanyi zirina amasanyalaze nga oyinza nti Nkokonjeru, ekigo ky'aba system Nkokonjeru ne Nkokonjeru ya RTTC eyo nateri masanyalaze. Oba Matale primary school ayo ino gigali. Kale ekyo webali nnyo badde okugamba naye nga amasanyalaze agasinga wonna wegali. Ebigambo bya muganda wange biri mu maaso, ono ye mutawani wange anaaba ayagala ajja kujja twogere ffenna. Naye ekimu ekisendyeyo Mwami Bashasha amugambye nti bwana Secretary General bwanajja wa Dave, my brother biri mu maaso. I'm sorry to change the channel so that I'm talking the same way. My son, Billy Maso, had issues, but Mr. Basara has told me that if the Secretary General of the party comes here on Wednesday, he should bring out that document. I know he has been talking about it. He even showed me one time that document, but I think Mr. Basara should allow him to produce it here and present it so that he can have his mind settled. He has been with it for some time. Bwire ekintu kyogerako nkiwulira nange nkiwulira ONC naye ONC si structure gyetulina mu government system. Oba Masaya n'agyogerako oluvannyuma gye muli naye ngiwulira ngimanyi naye saagala kugyogerako nnyo n'enkola yayo saagala. I don't want to talk about it. ONC, it's not a formal structure in government. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah? It is the vice chairman of the party for his office. So that one, I don't have any answer for it. Now, poor NRM and the other government leaders, I think this one, that's why you are here, as I said. You are here to make sure that by the time you leave here, you have built a strong synergy and you can work together. That's the reason why you are called to come here and work together. Omoro Chairperson, outstanding pledges. These things of outstanding pledges, they have been really there. And we decided that pledges are of two types. There is what they call classic pledge. That one, the president gives it to a person, he himself, without anyone's knowledge. That one is none of our concern. It's none of our concern. That is him and the person he tells to give. But there are those pledges which are like roads, schools, those ones, buses, or transport schools. Those ones are supposed to be handled by the sector ministries. If you have any pledge concerning a road, concerning a school, concerning a bus for a school, please send it to the respective ministry or give it to the RDC. RDC will bring it up and we shall take it to where it belongs. My friend Fardosa, Memorial Center for Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the leadership fellow for Yoweri Museveni, like that one we have for Mwalimu Nyerere. Normally, in normal life, you advise me. In normal life, people talk about our legacy when we have gone. So the one you saw in Nkoromati, in Kumasi, for the late Kwame Nkrumah Osajefo, it was built by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings. So you can see that the late Nkrumah died in 1972, August, and this one was constructed in 1985 by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings. Likewise, for the fellowship of Mwalimu Nyerere, this one also was started after his death. So, let us not move very fast. Let us not move very fast. We know what the president has done. We know how this country was in 1986. It was a failed state. Where he has put it. We know his role at the international level. So please, at a good time, this will be done. I think, members, you can allow me to go. Have tried somehow to answer your question.
Add my voice and recognize the Deputy Head of Service in the Prime Minister's office, who has already joined us and who will be our next resource person. Please welcome her. Karibu sana. And maybe as she introduces herself, let me try to tickle you that this is one of our old senior cadres in the Secretariat. I thought very much we were going to talk about it, but I don't know whether it was deliberate that you didn't want to recognize that work relationship with her. So also being here, apart from the office she's serving, she's not a stranger to this conversation, if I may use the statement, this conversation. So I expect that you will enjoy her communication. At this moment, Secretary, thank you so much for this session. Director Nari, thank you so much for welcoming us and settling us in. I want to now say we are closing this session, going for a group photo. I don't know how we are going to manage this. I think we're managing groups, regions by regions. And that means that Madam Deputy Head of Service will also join us for this. So let's have the order of the regions. I will now hand over to the Director of Studies here. The region that will be invited comes out, joins us, takes and comes back, then he invites another one. I think that's the best way we can manage this. Then after that, we shall go for tea break. Very, very briefly, we need to summarize the way we take our tea so that we are able to...
Let's go. I'm Maylin Lee. I wear what I want, say what I want, 24/7.
The center moves in for the kill. But bring...
Let's go. I'm Maylin Lee. I wear what I want, say what I want, 24/7.
The center moves in for the kill. But
Let's go. I'm Maylin Lee. I wear what I want, say what I want, 24/7.
the center moves in for the kill. But bring it.
Oh, baby, I'm feeling good, baby.